Season 2, Episode 2 of Rebel Without a Kitchen / Rebel and Chill / Rebel Without a Chill in a Kitchen and Chill. The first episode of the new season was all about me saying goodbye to Toronto. Goodbye, home. I'm gonna hit the road because I need to find myself. That was the conversation that Matt has with himself before he goes on the road. Remember, Kai and I were on a boat. It was very Titanic-esque. Front. She's like, Jack, but not Jack. Boston was actually the first city on our tour, but it is the first city on episode 2. And it's cool. I love Boston. It was actually my first time in the city of Boston for the show. I fell in love with it. I had a very hard time saying Massachusetts, Boston, Mass. Very hard time saying it, but I was there for a clam chowder cook-off. And like every other Fidel Gastro-inspired recipe, it couldn't be a traditional clam chowder. No. Okay.
There's a lot of tradition here.
I was terrified of that chef. Remember, we'll get back to that. He reminded me of Mr. Clean, and he was huge. He was like 6'7". I always had to bringing it back to Toronto. That was always the thing. Every episode, I couldn't just enjoy it in that city. I always had to bring it back to my city. All right, so episode 2, we're in Boston. Massachusetts. Am I saying this right? Massachusetts.
A little different. I've been invited to Boston to compete in a clam chowder competition. I'm not known as a soup guy. I'm definitely not known as a chowder guy. I don't care. Competition is the best way to test yourself. Is competition.
Welcome to Boston.
I think I said the word competition like 9 times in that sentence. I'm here for a competition. I'm about to do a competition. I'm gonna meet a guy about a competition. We're gonna talk about competition. But yes, you've heard it correctly. I was here for a competition. Clam chowder. I love clam chowder, and I learned a lot about kind of the essentials of clam chowder and even the story of how clam chowder came to be. The idea behind it was a one-pot meal that was essentially taken from ingredients that were just kind of on a boat. So you had the potatoes, the carrots, the celery, all that stuff, and then obviously the clams being readily available just off of Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And I was going up against a local food truck that was known for clam chowder. So I kind of felt like the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins, but this time the Maple Leafs win? I don't know. That's a hockey reference.
Gorgeous city.
You're in a great place. This is one of the centers of Boston.
Quincy Market, probably one of my favorite top 5 food markets I've ever visited. Super cool space.
Coming together for some chowder, some local food. I mean, how could you not want to?
Shoulders are doing this weird.
Like, run me.
I'm very excited when I was talking about chowder. Did you see that? My shoulders were into every word. I couldn't say chowder without thinking of that Simpsons episode with Mayor Quimby's nephew, where he's like, chowder, say it, chowder, say chowder. And then the French server's like, chowder. And they fight over it. You know what I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm saying?
Watching me and waiting for me to just make mistakes probably, and we'll see if I'm ready for it. I don't know yet.
We literally have 20 minutes to run to as many different of the vendors as possible, grab our ingredients, and then bring them back to our booth. Then we have an hour to make the soup. Now, an hour might seem like loads of time to do a cooking competition, but a chowder, in my opinion, you're looking at a minimum 2 to 3 hours to get those flavors proper, to really reduce that broth and get that flavor really, harmonizing with the vegetables. And then it's just, I didn't think it was enough time. So add that to the fact that I'm in a city that isn't my own, going up against a local boy. If I were a commentary, which I am, I'd say the odds were stacked against Matt in this one. Side note, look how I think this is when I started to notice my hair really starting to thin in the front. This was the moment. Look at this. I think my hair started to thin when I started to travel for the show. I think I'm gonna blame my male pattern baldness on this. But yeah, no, it's really starting to thin out there in the front. It was fun while it lasted, okay?
Let's cook outside the box, outside the bowl.
Yeah, a little bit.
What was seated in there outside the bowl? Because it's a soup challenge. Outside the bowl.
I'm not rebel,
That's the first time I referred to myself. I think that line was fed to me. Aren't you a rebel? Hence the name of the show? Yeah, I think I am. a lot of the US cities we traveled to, you could almost pinpoint exactly what their quintessential dish was. We're in Philly, it's cheesesteak, or we're in Miami, it's Cuban food, or Boston was the clam chowder. So that was one thing that I thought was super cool about most of the cities that we went to, is they were known for a something. And then whenever I would come in, my job was to mess with that something a little bit. And there was always hesitation from the locals, whoever I was talking to, about messing with tradition, especially in the more like the eastern side of the U.S. seaboard. Like, so when we were in Philly, Boston, even in New York, they were like, "Ooh, you're gonna mess with that? That's a tradition, man." So I got a lot of like eyebrows being raised. So it was interesting because I was never really used to that. Being here, you're kind of pushed to constantly evolve and change the way things are done traditionally.
Clam chowders. Chef Chris, how are you?
So this place is known for the clam chowder. It's considered to be a place where if you're visiting Boston, you almost have to go to Legal Seafood. The head chef, we're gonna meet him though. He was awesome.
A little mood for some chowder, my friend.
All right, why don't you take a seat outside and we'll hook you up. I'll be right out there with you.
Love it, man.
All right?
I thought he was gonna crush me.
So I can do this properly. I need the full chowder.
I was so worried, I don't know why.
To my benefit here, because now I'm not expected to make a traditional chowder. I just have to make a chowder that has my twist.
I keep going back and forth between calling it chowder and chowder. I was like, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. I was kind of like a fish out of water.
Food truck on Twitter. Gonna go by the truck.
The best food truck I've ever eaten off of. And I can say that without hesitating at all in my voice. Captain Martin's food truck out of Boston. Unbelievable food truck. Like, the lobster roll was overflowing. It was crazy.
Give me some other seafood creations she's got. Ahoy, ahoy.
I think she had a crush on me.
Oh, nice to put a handsome face to that.
See, yeah, I think she had a crush on me. Terry, what's up? It was super, super good.
It's phenomenal. Boy, that shut you up, didn't it? This is
Oh, Terry, stop
amazing,
flirting.
Let's see what you got. This is our fresh clam.
Look at that, you can't even tell it's in a bun. There's so many fried clams there.
Clam. That's one of our clam rolls. Roll me, baby. Let's see
Roll
what you
me,
got.
baby. Who says that?
Clam
Who says that? Roll, and it was just stuffed with fried clams.
Only one place to go. I'm gonna hook you up with clams.
Did anyone else hear that? Where do I get my hand? How do I get my hands on your clams? Like, how do I get my hands on your clams?
Yes, the Fidel Gastro brand is all about sandwiches and street food back home.
I talk a lot in this season. I think it's because I was by myself so often. I was like constantly having to talk.
Rotary truck just came, and you've been flagged as the roadie.
You've been flagged.
And everybody come from far away.
Bam, clam. So it was very tasty. Very
And
good.
the one thing I will say, like, I don't know, maybe because clams are just so in abundance there, clams just falling out. Just everywhere, they're just like, wow, there's so many clams in this. I just feel like, I guess it's because seafood would just cost that much more here because we're nowhere near an ocean. You just wouldn't get that same kind of volume. Chowder, 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 say it.
We're gonna teach you
Bring your own clams.
Hi guys, how are you?
So this was one of my highlights of almost the entire season. I went cohogging, so it's not clam fishing, it's called cohogging. I think I only caught like 7 clams in the span of an hour. Like, how much time they're putting into this just to fish some clams or to cohog some. It was, my respect went through the roof. I had so much respect for them and what they did.
Generations of cohogging.
Took me a while to put the pants on. And the boots were so heavy. I almost felt like I was getting set up to lose. They said that we couldn't use a propane burner, so I had this little like electrical dinky thing to make my soup. And then I get there and he's got a propane one. And I'm like, oh, I thought we weren't allowed to use propane. He's like, I just brought it anyways. So here I am, he's got this massive flame that actually works, and I had like this little like it was a joke. It was a total joke. You'll see. I wasn't impressed. Matt was not impressed.
You got butter. All right, so we can tackle it.
We were so fast on the grocery shop because of our strategy. We literally ran in tandem, and like when I saw something, I would veer, and if I saw something to my right, I'd be like, I'd yell it out to her, and she'd run and grab that. So we literally just devoured that market. Look, they didn't even know. I'm already 4 booths down, and they were like, what's going on? They were just standing there looking at each other. Me and Rad are grabbing potatoes, grabbing leeks. And I did another thing too. So I knew that I had the Madras curry. That was gonna be like my flavor difference versus having the traditional chowder. But I used lamb fat instead of pork fat. I'm running like an idiot.
I'm just rendering some salt pork.
So he's got this stand-up propane burner. You gotta look at what I'm using. Look at these little plug-in electric crap here. I had it on max temperature the whole time.
What I actually really like is to mix these two chowders together, which brings us to a tie.
Boo! Ties suck.
Tie.
I think had I had a proper burner, and I'm calling you out right now, Boston Chowder Matt,
Not traditional.
for a rematch because this is baloney. This burner I had, it's crap.
That's a good sign because I went so far.
I'm kidding. I'm over it. I've gotten over it. It's a great time had by all in Massachusetts. Well, there you have it, folks. Episode 2, Season 2, Rebel Without a Chilling Kitchen in Boston, of all places, for a clam chowder cook-off. I had a blast. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you're from Boston, let me hear ya. Did I hit the right spots in Boston? Did I have clam chowder in all the right places? Is there somewhere I should have gone, or somewhere I should go venture off to next time I'm in your beautiful city? All right, well, ahoy hoy, have a great one. Chowder, 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 say it.